So, it is my pleasure to introduce this next person who's an amazing artist, and I got the pleasure of working with them last year. I met them through an amazing artist named Edgar Fabian Frias. I don't know if anyone's heard of them, but they're pretty amazing. And so Yoli Alma-Flor is going to come up here and present some amazing, an amazing documentary, a film. Where are you, Yoli? Where are you at? Yoli's going to present their film and some movement, so it's going to be a performance piece, really beautiful, and it's called Teatro de la Vida, and they're presenting Rain Lluvia, a multimedia prayer. And so they are an Indigiqueer interdisciplinary performance artist and ecosomatics facilitator with roots along the border and central Mexico. They are amazing. They did some amazing play-related sort of thembo drag when we all got together at a retreat down in, where was that? Tule land. Anyway, I'll tell you more about it later. You can ask me after this. But they are a creative visionary of Teatro de la Vida, a fluid performance-based healing ensemble, where the roads of ancestral arts and healing practices meet performance art and experimental theater. So they're brilliant and amazing, and I will say no more because let them speak for themselves. Give it up for Yoli Alma-Flor.
Okay. Next slide, please. Hello, my name is Yoli. Hello. I'm actually going to take this off. Take off my mask. So, rain lluvia is a collective water limpia. Oh, gotta catch my breath. Let's all take a deep breath together, actually. Let's take a deep breath in. And release. Let's take another deep breath in together. And release a sound. Authenticity, radical authenticity. Okay. Okay. So we begin again. Okay. Rain lluvia is a collective water limpia and a multimedia prayer to the rain, which we had here today in the Bay, to cleanse the world, to cleanse the wound of genocide as it lives on in our bodies, as Indigiqueer and QT BIPOC beings, and as it lives here on this earth. So Rain lluvia, as the big project that it was, found home as workshops and gatherings, and as a live performance with Teatro de la Vida, and a bunch of other ephemera that exist after the performance, like costumes and objects that were created for it, and photos and documentation, and a video piece made from the documentation of the live performance that I'll be showing today, along with an overall process of the prayer that held it, that it was a part of that I don't often show, but I'm really grateful to get to share today. And more importantly, the greatest outcome of Rain lluvia was love, friendship, and collective care. So, Teatro de la Vida, these are some of the beautiful QT BIPOC and Indigiqueer beings that were part of it. And they were the ensemble that performed for the Rain lluvia live performance. Can we go to the next slide, please? So this is them, beautiful, stunning beings. And today I'm going to share the documentation that I'm turning into a video art piece to celebrate them, to celebrate all of us for our collective contribution to this incredible gathering. So let's go ahead and go to the video, please.
A drop of rain falls on my nose as I look up to the sky. Slow, 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 harder, faster, submerged in the tears of an earth crying for what has happened. What has happened? A memory woven together with others in the shape of an absence, of an antimatter that stands tall and watches with their hands behind their back. We all feel them, but can't see them. There, over there. What do we do with what has happened? It strangles me. How do I remember how to hold it tenderly in this canoe? How do I remember how to hold myself and each other tenderly in this canoe? When was the first time I and you felt possessed by desire to bleed and make blood touch the earth, to fill the absence that keeps on missing itself, a bloodshed that asks for more offering of blood, because the mothers miss their children and I miss them too. Cradles and bells jingling like prisms in the sky, coming down to cleanse me of the filth, the tlatzoli that is a hunger, a missing for the children. Where have they all gone in this canoe? Fruits plucked from the branch, flowers from the stem, roots ripped from the earth so we can eat. Hungry in this canoe. Across these waters of envy, hope, everything that was and everything that will be in this canoe. Where do we go, driftless? We forget many times, grasping for a vague memory, pieces patched together, that the absence that misses is where we not end. Spiders crawl and webs glisten in the rain. A small child and children laughter emerge from the absence of souls, bound up and released, because we danced and sang to and in the rain.
Next slide. Thank you. So that was a segment of a 20-minute piece, and I chose that segment because it really highlights the incredible contributions of everyone from Teatro de la Vida. And so I just want to name those precious beings. Apologies. So it includes Teatro de la Vida for this round included the artists and healers Yo-Yo Romero, who you heard singing, beautiful voice, Canelo Cabrera, Leti Morales, New Nam, Christmas Presents, Champoy Lim, Hak Nguyen, Uta Tamate Wise, and Yoli. Yoli! So each of us carried like a prayer bundle during our gatherings to prepare for the live performance. And each one of them held a seed, a corn seed, a maize seed, a blue dina, a maize seed. And so part of the larger story involves the children, the maize children, which I wish I could go more into depth about, but because of time, so just fill in the dots, dot. And so Daniel, who works at a land organization in the Bay, donated some queer corn that hadn't, how would you say, bloomed. And because of that, it had all this beautiful husks and corn silk that I was able to make a two-spirit or Indigiqueer corn doll that wears pants and skirt. And so that was on the altar at the live performance. And that has been offered to a mountain very far, far away in the desert where I grew up, on Kuya land. And so next slide. And this corn, one back. And this corn silk braid was also on the altar, also gifted to those mountains on Kuya land, very far away from the Bay imagination. Next slide. And so after the performance, that corn seed that we all carried was planted on the full moon in Scorpio, and it grew and was harvested on the new moon in Scorpio. And this is them. Look how pretty. And so in the greater story, these represent our liberated ancestors, our liberated Indigiqueer ancestors, because of the offerings of dance and song that we shared with the rain. And next slide. And so then the maize was prepared and was nixtamalizado, was nixtamalized into hominy or nixtamal, and then prepared into pozole. Next slide. Next slide, please. It was prepared into pozole that was shared with people, with loved ones that had woven into this greater prayer of liberating some of our wounded ancestors that have been affected by this wound of genocide. And as in, all of us coming together with our Indigiqueer Cutie Paipak and Two-Spirit Magic. And so this pozole was shared on Dia de los Muertos to all those precious beings and this greater community members. So this prayer got to go full circle in that moment once the ancestors were given a purpose from the corn. And so the last thing I would like to say, if I still have time, if not, okay. I still got time! Take the mic away from me! No, I'm just kidding. Yes, so the last thing I would like to say is that For many of us that were coming together from Teatro de la Vida, the ancestors that came forward were children. And what I've taken that to heart as I've sat with like the documentation and reflecting in this time after, is just the importance of children, the ways of the children, and playing for transforming the ricochets of these generational wounds that we see playing out across the world, from Turtle Island to Palestine. And I'm like, part of me is like, can it just be that? What? But, you know, doing all the math emoji girl, like, what? But it just felt like there was something about those children coming forward that was sharing about a stagnancy that's existing within our ancestral lineages, of those that came forward, mine included, and my inner children, all of our inner children, those children of the past that maybe never because of wounds, they didn't get to fully live like a childhood, children that passed before their time, and just how important that honoring the children and honoring the child within each of us is. The medicine is the play. The medicine is the innocence. Like, it's sometimes thought of as so frivolous, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's not, you know, like, what if it isn't? As just one little piece of a larger narrative. And yeah, so many people to thank. Thank you, BAAITS. Thank you, my mom. Thank you for my grandma, who is also part of some of the oral history research that kind of informed some of this this story, this prayer. And I'm grateful to all those homies and elders and friends that have shaped me. I'm grateful to the Wakanwea drum community as part of that. And speaking of that, Saguaro and Yo-Yo made an incredible zine. So if you're here at the event, you should totally check it out, about this event that they hosted called Drum Feast. So check it out. What is it? Smash Smash. They run Cafe Dandelion Smash Smash. It's really good food. And yeah, so I guess that's like my presentation. I'm so grateful to all y'all. Oh, y'all. It's like, what's a presentation? What's a performance? I don't even know. It's wild. But yeah, so grateful to all of y'all. Thank you to each of your ancestors, to the children within you, to the rain, and I pray that we can all come to liberate allow those waters to liberate our children within, those children that have come before us, and those children that are going to come after us too. Thanks.